I'm Professor Chi. I help people raise their vibration. In this video, I'm going to discuss subconscious agreements. Agreements that were made as very small children that create the belief system we live with as adults. Quantum physics is so fantastic, and our society and human beings haven't really caught up with the ideas, the possibilities and probabilities that are told in quantum physics. And frankly, I think we've barely caught up with Newtonian physics. You know, the idea that for every action there's a reaction. Most people, or a lot of people, wander through life and they don't even have that clear. And quantum physics tells us that everything is made of high frequency waves of energy, and through our observation, these high frequency waves of energy become particles. They actually arrange, the energy actually arranges itself in such a way that it becomes what we deeply believe it's supposed to be. Now these agreements are odd in that they're not like you can wake up one day and say, oh, you know, I don't agree that everything is physical and today everything is just going to be made out of light. It's much deeper than that. We have agreed as a species that things are like this, and these agreements are very deep and subconscious. They're not conscious. If you can manage to make these agreements conscious, you're one of those kind of people that can make anything happen. But most of us have this default mode going. All of us have a default mode going of what we believe reality is. The observer, which we are, we're the observer, observing the observed. Somehow they line up. Well, our observations actually create what we're observing. Now, this has been proved in a lot of different experiments in quantum physics, and frankly, I think people as a species, we're getting closer and closer to this instant manifestation, this idea of instant manifestation, where our observation will change what's being observed. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to change this rock behind me into water or something like that. It's not quite like that. It's more about the probability and possibility within this moment. For instance, we usually have a concept in our mind of what we think we deserve. And through that level of deservingness, the probability and possibility starts happening in our life. If we have a very low self-esteem and we only feel like going in and working for a wage, and a low wage is how things are going to work for us, then that's how things will work for us. Then there's other people that somehow, just through their mind, things start manifesting for them. There's you know, sometimes we tend to think that people with a lot of money, they deserve that because of hard work, but oftentimes they deserve it just because they feel like they deserve it. You've maybe known people like this where things just happen for them. This is because their default mode is set in such a way that the possibility and probability is very high for them. They want things to happen, and it does. This is possible for all of us. We need to get in touch with our subconscious agreements, and these subconscious agreements happen when we're very young. They're what our parents tell us. They're what we are learned in society. It's the things that the things that you were told, like, you can't do this and you can do this. You know, you were raised in such a way that it seems like everything is difficult. Well, then everything is difficult. If you were raised in a way where everything seemed possible, then more things are possible. But we can change this quotient. All of us, we're capable of changing this. We just need to dig deep inside, find these subconscious agreements that we agreed to when we were really young, and decide that they don't serve us anymore. Now, the first time you come up bump against it and then decide it doesn't serve you anymore, doesn't mean it's going to suddenly change. You have to continually work at it when it comes up and say, no, that's not true. You say that enough, and you be dispassionate about that, that no, that's not true, and eventually it'll change. Then the world of quantum possibility and probability will be yours for the taking, where you can decide, I'm observing this and this is what I want out of it, and it'll start to happen for you. It's possible.